Live stream audio test. Live stream audio test.
I'm echoing. It's all right. We've got an apprentice legal advisor today. So I'm getting feedback from a colleague's laptop. We will attend to it. You can't hear it and I can. There we go. No, nearly. Oh, it's so annoying. Should be saying testing, testing. Very good. Perfect. Thank you very much. It's bad enough that I have to do the talking without having to listen to myself as well. So we had to sort that out. Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this afternoon's meeting of the North Sussex Council Cabinet. We've got a pretty short, tight agenda today, but we are obviously being streamed on YouTube as usual. So please just remember that when making any remarks. We've obviously got some colleagues, I think, listening in on Teams as well, so they might join in with questions or comments as we progress through the agenda. So the first item is public addresses. I don't believe we've got any. Second item is apologies for absence, and I can see that everyone's here, so we haven't got any apologies for absence, so very good. Any declarations of pecuniary interest from anyone? No? Good. Well done. Thank you. Item 4 is to approve the minutes of the meeting held on the 11th of February. Gosh, it seems like an eternity ago. Can I have I'll propose that they're accepted. Thank you, Hugh. So are all colleagues happy to? Yeah, thank you. Very good. Item 5 is non-cabinet councillor addresses. Again, there have been no requests. So I'll move on to the first substantive item that I've stolen your pen. The first substantive item that we've got, which is the budget monitor for month 11 and the quarter 3 performance management update. So as usual, this report asks Cabinet to note the improved revenue and capital forecasts, approve changes to the revenue and capital budgets, note the performance and risk update, and approve changes to existing on and off-street car parking fees and charges. There's 2 amendments to the recommendations and the parking fees and charges item. So just before I progress into the recommendations as a whole, there's a typo in recommendation 4. So it says that we are introducing the parking charge variations with effect from the 1st of June 2024. That should, of course, read the 1st of June 2026. So that's the first amendment. And then although it's a great idea, I don't know whether this is a new fundraising idea where we retrospectively charge people for parking, but it seems like worth investigating. And the second amendment is in relation to the beach and marine parade parking charges, where the figures in the report just need to be updated to reflect the correct position in terms of proposed charges from the 1st of June. So for the peak period, Marine Parade and Seafront should read a new £3.50 for 2 hours, £7 for half day, and £12 for full day, and not the figures that were printed in the report. So I've got those 2 corrections to make in respect of the fees and charges element of the report. So just to quickly canter through what's obviously covered in the report, the first thing to note is that at month 11, the overall financial position is encouraging. We're now forecasting a small underspend of £150,000 on the budget for the year, and that enables us to achieve a balanced budget at year end without drawing on the financial risk reserve. That improvement obviously reflects the recovery work that's been undertaken during the year. And of course, it is clear that we've got continuing pressures, particularly in adult services, children's services, SEND, recycling income, transport and some other areas. But it does show that the work that the directorates have done to try and manage those in-year pressures, implement controls and mitigations have made a material difference to our bottom line. The report also sets out that we're on track to deliver 92% of the savings that we identified at the beginning of the year. So obviously that's really good progress, but does underline that we need to continue to progress our savings plans with disciplined financial management. Colleagues will note that the general revenue reserve is at 10.4 million, so about 4.5% of our net revenue budget. That's lower than we would ideally like, but the direction of travel is a bit more encouraging, but we've still got more work to do in terms of rebuilding our financial resilience. A key risk area remains, of course, the dedicated schools grant budget and pressures on special educational needs and disabilities. Although the deficit in the high needs block has reduced, the cumulative deficit will still be around £41 million by the end of the year. As the report sets out, we've got the government's new high needs stability grant, which should eliminate around 38 million of that deficit for North Somerset. But of course, it is dependent on getting government approval for our SEND reform plans locally. So whilst this is good news and hopefully will help to draw a line on that accumulated deficit, it isn't a blank cheque. And we do have more work to do to continue to drive reforms and clearly get that remaining deficit under control. I think it's also just worth noting that the capital programme is continuing to progress really well, remains fully funded, and we're continuing to deliver a wide range of major projects and investment across North Somerset. Lastly, the performance and risk section just highlights that we've continued to make steady progress across all areas of the Council's work. Of the corporate plan actions, 66% are rated completed, green or green and amber, and only 11% now are in the amber, red or red. So really strong progress on things like oral health, care leavers, affordable housing, technology-enabled care, recycling and waste and customer services. So really pleasing to see great progress across all areas of the Council's work. So I think that's the main points that I would highlight this afternoon. So happy to ask for a seconder for the amended recommendations, please. Thanks, Catherine. And happy to take any questions or comments. Yeah, go on then, Annemieke, Councillor Waite.
I just wanted to thank the team for putting together such a very clear document. I think, I know it's all about the figures, but actually the figures are much easier to understand if the text that goes with it is really clearly written. And I just wanted to thank you because I'm sure that a lot of effort has gone into making sure that comes across really well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And Hugh, Councillor Mallion.
Just also want to thank Mel and the team for the work that they've put in and getting us to a position of 150k underspend after the pressures we've been under throughout the years. Fantastic work.
Yeah, quite right. Okay, I can't see any other hands or questions. So would colleagues indicate their support for the recommendations, please? Thank you very much. And we'll move on to item 7, which is the Leisure Management Contract Commissioning Plan. And Councillor Solomon. Mike.
Thanks, Mike. This is to agree the commissioning plan for the leisure management contract for Parish Wharf in Portishead and Strode Leisure Centres in Leisure Centre in Clevedon. At the moment, we have 2 providers running our leisure centres. The 2 I've just mentioned are run by Places Leisure Facilities, and the others are run by Parkwood Leisure. Just to give you some idea of figures, they attract well over, our leisure centres attract well over 1.77 million users per day, which is quite staggering, really, and including 280 swimming lessons. So what we're asking now is, we can't extend this contract for the existing provider, so we're asking for a new 10-year contract to be investigated. So it's fairly straightforward. The report is there for anybody to read.
Thanks, Mike. And can I have a seconder for that? Is that a hand seconding? Yes. Yes, Roger? Yeah, great. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Yeah, Roger, Councillor Whitfield.
Yeah, thank you very much to Councillor Solomon for the report. I just wanted to say that clearly North Somerset has grown massively. If we managed to get 1.77 million visits per day, I think it was per year, misspoke. So can we just confirm that is per year, not per day?
Yeah, I tried to get away with that one, Roger. I thought I'd slip it in, but you spotted it.
You know I'm here to pull you up.
I thought it was an aspirational target, but okay. I've got Peter Burden, Councillor Burden online, and then I'll come to you, Jenna.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. No problem with this one at all. The one little question mark I've got is over the consultation with local members and scrutiny. We had a fairly good briefing, which was poorly attended, I think, last week, and I don't see in the suggested timescale any room for scrutiny of contracts when they come in, and I think that should be taken into account, because it's one of those things. It operates very well. We councillors never hear about it. The slightest problem, we get the blame. So I think the very least we should do is timetable a scrutiny in your programme.
Okay, thanks. We'll get Mike to pick that up at the end. Jenna, Councillor Home-Harris.
Thank you very much for this report. I'm a little disappointed that I wasn't asked to present this, because actually reading the report, it's all about the health and well-being benefits to communities. So I'm sad about that, but it's an excellent report. I mean, it also shows, we say clearly, well, leisure services are non-statutory. We don't have to run a leisure centre or 2 leisure centres or 5, but clearly they provide so much back, and this is all about our preventative work that we try very hard to focus on across the council. So this is a fantastic example. I also want to point to the astounding figure of 18,000 visits in 25-26 of targeted sessions to support preventative and managing long-term health conditions, including working with GPs and cardiac rehabilitation, Parkinson's rehab, and visually impaired swimming sessions. And I'm sure there will be lots of other programs together with maybe voluntary sector partners. So it's an asset that we have, and I'm really keen to make sure that we are able to engage with our healthcare partners to improve the health and well-being of our community. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Jenna. Catherine, Councillor Gibbons.
Thank you. I have no aspirations to present the paper myself, despite the fact that obviously, as it says in the social value paragraph, it's really important that we are running activities for children and young people. And I'm pleased to see that the level of social value that North Somerset received apparently is 365,787 coming back into it. I'm just asking Councillor Solomon, what are the aspirations to improve further on that in terms of social value?
Okay, thanks very much. I've got no further comments. So, Mike, do you want to just respond to those points, and then we'll take the vote?
Yes, I'm just wondering if Roger would have liked to present this as well because of the adult side of things, but yeah, we'll stick with me. Yes, I didn't quite hear all of Councillor Burden-Peters' conversation. The sound wasn't great. I think it was to do with scrutiny. Yeah, I guess there's still room to put more scrutiny into this, so I'll certainly talk to the team after today, see where we're going with that. The the other questions, they were more comments than questions. Just the question from Catherine. Yeah, I guess our aspirations are just to get better, do more, bring more people in. And hopefully, when we award the new contract to whoever it is, then that sort of thing, we can include all our aspirations in going forward with them. So our aspirations, I guess, are to do more and better.
Great, thank you very much. I can't remember whether we had a seconder or not, no? Yes.
Yeah, we did. It
Good.
was Roger.
Of course it was. So in which case, are members happy to show their support for the recommendations, please? Thank you very much. So item 8 is the forward plan, which is for noting. So unless there's any dissent, I'm going to assume that we have noted it. And then item 9 is any oral updates from Cabinet members. Anyone got any? Yep, Jenna, Councillor Homaris.
Thank you. Just to say that, as many of you will already know, the Renters' Rights Act is coming into force tomorrow, 1st of May. This is a national law with local, well, it's a national law, and there's locally we'll be enforcing it as the council. There is a fantastic campaign that our comms team has put together with Housing Matters and all the other neighbouring local authorities, and hopefully you'll see some of the bright yellow banners out, and also on social media. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows about it, and if you can please cascade it in your communities. It should affect, it's affecting landlords, it's affecting renters, and anyone or your family and friends who might be in either or both of those camps. So it's really important. If central government changes the law, we need to make sure people actually know about it and knows what it means. So in particular, I would also note that the 5 wards with the highest percentage of private rented dwellings from the 2023 survey that we commissioned are West-Supermare Central, that's over 50% private rented, West-Supermare Hillside, West-Supermare Winterstoke, Portishead East, and West-Supermare South Wirral. So I'd really encourage those ward members to get in touch with the Housing Matters team or the comms team, and also to maybe share some of these leaflets out. I will hand you some in this meeting as well later. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Jenna. And I know Mandy and the team are doing an all-staff briefing as well on the new arrangements too, which will hopefully help to raise awareness. Thank you. Mike, Councillor Solomon.
Yeah, I just wanted to share some positive stuff as far as the police and crime are concerned. And I know Councillor Clayton has also been heavily involved. The operation we have ongoing to try and bring down the problems we have with street drinking, with shoplifting, etc. Yesterday in Weston, we must have had well over 20 policemen, community police, throughout the whole of the town. There were a considerable number of arrests. They were very visible, and it's just an ongoing thing. And I am noticing personally that we are seeing some changes, and hopefully long may it last. So I just wanted to first point out that there's an awful lot going on to try and overcome this whole thing about taking back our towns. So thank you to the police and community police and my colleague James for being involved in all of this.
Thank you, Mike. Helpful update. So I haven't got any more oral announcements, so that's great. Thanks, colleagues. So item 10 is urgent business, of which there is none. So at 2:50, I declare the meeting closed. Thank you very much, everyone.